afraid for their lives after a tire on their plane busts just after landing.
Panic. Panic. Everybody was panicked. You can hear people in the back screaming.
They're terrifying moments as the plane ends up off the tarmac and into the grass. Plus, a woman's murder unsolved for more than 16 years.
I just miss my baby.
The new tip that's renewing hope for justice and how you can help.
I need the canine dogs. I need somebody volunteer.
And another deadly wrong-way crash on our local interstates. What we learned about what happened as wrong-way crashes spike around the country. Right now on WSB.
We were suddenly awoken by just huge gunshots, very loud, very close.
It almost felt like a bad dream for Scarlett.
We were honestly afraid that our house was being shot. We hit the floor immediately.
The sound of gunshots outside of her home on Dill Avenue, and she wasn't the only one who heard it.
And we hit the floor.
Several people along Dill Avenue crawled to their windows to get a look at what was going on.
And saw a man with a what looked to be a semi-automatic rifle firing down the street, up in the air, kind of all over.
Outrage is flooding a Texas community this morning after the Austin American-Statesman newspaper released this edited video Tuesday of a gunman's deadly rampage inside Robb Elementary in Uvalde, Texas on May 24th. At 11:33, cameras captured 18-year-old Salvador Ramos walk through an unlocked door into a hallway with an AR-15-style rifle. A student on the bottom left side of your screen sees the suspect just before Ramos opens fire on the first classroom. Several police officers arrive at 11:36 with guns drawn, but they never rush in to confront the shooter.
It's real hard. It's real hard.
It's still hard for DeJuan Franklin to believe. Like so many, she was looking forward to Thanksgiving, waiting on her husband Raheem to come home.
He was going to surprise his mom for Thanksgiving.
But before he could make it to his mom's front door on Cleveland Avenue, he was gunned down at 4 in the afternoon.
His mom called me. I just heard screaming. And she said, Raheem just got shot 2 times and he's not breathing.
2 questions on night 2. Who killed Deputy James Thomas and why? Listen as a witness called police.
I had my window cracked. I heard the shot.
That 911 call came in around 4:30 Thursday morning. Atlanta police say they showed up to find Thomas shot and killed in his wrecked out car on Bolton Road. The caller is not ready to talk publicly. Police told us a driver in a van saw Thomas driving in the middle of the road before they heard gunfire.
It's kind of unbelievable, still shocking.
I introduced you to Quentin Davis the day his friend died.
We've already seen record turnout during early voting, and the candidates for Georgia governor are urging more of the base to head to the polls.
But let's be clear. The fact that people are voting does not mean that there aren't obstacles. That's like saying because more people get in the water, there are fewer sharks. There are still sharks in the water. There are still barriers to voting. But what we want people to do is vote early so they can understand those barriers and navigate them better.
I'm so optimistic about the future of our state. We have the lowest unemployment rate in the history of our state, the most people ever working, and we're providing economic opportunity in all parts of our state, no matter what your zip code or your neighborhood.
Good Sunday evening.
With Channel 2 anchor Justin Farmer serving as moderator, Republican Georgia Governor Brian Kemp and Democrat Stacey Abrams squared off for their final debate. The candidates quickly tackled one of the biggest issues facing Georgians, inflation.
Georgia has some of the lowest wages in the nation. And because of that, we need a governor who's going to use her power to focus on the cost that a governor can control.
Americans are hurting right now because of a disastrous policy agenda by Joe Biden and the Democrats that have complete control in Washington, D.C. Thankfully in Georgia, because we were open even when Ms. Abrams didn't want us to be, our economy has been incredibly resilient.
Raphael Warnock was sworn in to his first term as a Democrat to the U.S. Senate January 5th of 2021. Warnock's also the senior pastor of historic Ebenezer Baptist Church, the home church to the late Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and his wife Coretta. We sat down with the senator and pastor just days before Election Day.
Well, family is very important to me. I come from a family that didn't have much, but in a real sense, I say I hit the jackpot. And that's because I had 2 great parents. My dad is deceased. My 84-year-old mother is still with us, thank God. my family was short on money but long on love and long on faith. I'm one of 12 children in my family, and I'm number 11.
Hello, Atlanta, Georgia. Hello, hello, hello.
The campaign trail looked much the same on Sunday, with Senator Raphael Warnock and Herschel Walker both trying to rally voters, even though the dynamics of the race have now changed dramatically.
But this is going to be very interesting because, again, there's still a lot at stake for both sides.
After Senator Catherine Cortez Masto's win in Nevada on Saturday, Democrats locked down control of the Senate, no matter what happens in Georgia. Veteran political strategist Fred Hicks told me that could reduce turnout in December's runoff election. The Orange County, Florida Sheriff's Office says just after 4 p.m. on Sunday, deputies responded to a call about an unresponsive man in a hotel room at the Ritz-Carlton in Orlando. The man, who they identified as 65-year-old Bob Saget, was pronounced dead on the scene, and they say there was no sign of foul play or drug use. Now the medical examiner's office will determine the cause and manner of death. Saget, of course, was best known as the dad, Danny Tanner, on Full House.
So people are sending their love and appreciation for Betty White by making a donation to Fur Kids.
And it's happening at rescues and shelters across the country. Samantha Shelton, Fur Kids CEO and founder, told me at the start of a new year,
we expect January to be quiet.
Following the December flurry of fundraising and end-of-year donations. But January 2022 began with the Betty White Challenge on social media, and it's changing things. The ask, donate $5 to a shelter or rescue by January 17th, what would have been White's 100th birthday.
I was very, very sad, emotional. Yeah, I actually cried.
Lynn Baker says she was overcome with emotion when she learned that Queen Elizabeth had died. She owns the corner shop in Marietta, but she grew up in the UK admiring the Queen.
Even though she was the Queen, she was very much for the common person.
Baker is one of millions of people mourning the monarch's death. Our cameras were rolling when the news actually broke at the Queen's pantry in Cobb County.
She just announced that she passed away.
I'm sorry. I watched your reaction as we were reacting and all went,
that's the way it goes on Love's Train. It will be fireworks on stage and off in Stockbridge when the funk band Confunction performs on the 4th of July. The group's co-founder, Felton Pilot, who lives in Atlanta, says it's going to be an awesome show.
We bring the fireworks every single time.
The band is performing a free show at the Stockbridge Amphitheater. I asked group co-founder Michael Cooper what fans can expect.
A love train. Damn it, you're gonna get run over by the love train if you don't get on board.
I was too afraid to audition.
Sam, you were born enough. And what we consider your handicap is your gift. You understand me? You are enough.
The 28-year-old sang Rainbow by Casey Musgraves. The simplicity and emotion behind it blew the judges away.
Well, the sky has finally opened, rain and wind stop blowing, but you're stuck out in that same old storm again.
Sunday night, American Idol was once again live coast to coast, and the top 7 performed twice. One dedicated to Mom, and the other their favorite TikTok track. Fitz Hager tested positive for COVID-19, so Idol played his version from dress rehearsal. Noah Thompson also tested positive and performed live from isolation.
Well, I've been afraid of changing because I built my life around you.
Last night, 3 people had to say goodbye: Scarlett Elise, Danielle Finn, and Sir Blake. But the youngest contestant, 16-year-old Emerson Florence, made it through and is now hoping to make the next cut.
On days like this, oh, tell me you love me.
Mike Mike Parker also impressed. The carpenter exchanged heavy equipment for a microphone, and it's proving to be a great decision.
But I know, yeah, I know it's a matter of time till you walk back out of my life. Leave me standing here lonely, feeling like a fool. Wow. Oh, yeah.
They was like, well, you have no choice. She's coming. And I'm just like, no.
Meet Nandi Phillips. She and all that hair were born the day before Thanksgiving.
We're going to call her Little Baby Nugget.
Making her world debut in a McDonald's bathroom.
She came into the bathroom. She was like, are you okay? I was like, no, I'm having a baby. The first time I seen Baby Nugget, it was the top of Baby Nugget's head. Okay?
Mom was having contractions on the way to the hospital, but stopped at McDonald's because she thought she needed to use the restroom.
Yeah, a lot of times when we report about social media, it's not necessarily good. But in this case, a man struggling to keep his restaurant open is now thanking strangers on TikTok for helping to save his business.
I see him like really stressed all the time, pretty like not sad, but you could tell he's trying to hide it.
Carlos Cardenas watched his dad's dream almost disappear. He was on the verge of closing his Salt Lake City restaurant. So Carlos took to TikTok asking people to come have a meal.
It's crazy to me how how the internet works, how one day we had like maybe 10 customers come in our like 11 hours that we're open. And then the next day we have like hundreds.
Yeah, in order to learn, you have to be strong. Know you can handle the day. So Miss P, as her students call her, is not only inspiring her classroom, but others around the country.
What does integrity mean?
She's known as Miss P in the classroom, but Cool Miss P on Instagram. Every day, Ayanna Phillips makes it her goal to build up her kindergartners at Barack H. Obama Elementary Magnet School of Technology in DeKalb County.
I am strong. Yeah, baby. I am big. Yes, you are. I am able. Yeah, I am bad.